So Scott Brady with Expedition Portal out here testing the 2011 Jeep Grand Cherokee. We're here in Sedona and we're giving this thing a good run for its money. We've had it for a couple weeks now. We started at the Easter Jeep Safari, took it on Hell's Revenge, Finjin things, a couple different trails that really tested its extreme terrain performance. But one of the things we're most interested in is how does it do on our test track? How does it do in the different terrains that we expose all of these other trucks to every week? And I've got some things that come to mind. First of all, the road performance of this Jeep is at a whole nother level of refinement compared to previous models. Interior comfort's excellent, seats are fantastic, it's got a nice stereo, very refined, good, low NVH, very comfortable car to drive.
You know, one of the things that I'm noticing on the road is the directness of the steering. It responds with a lot less steering angle than most SUVs probably would have. I think that feels a lot sportier and it's actually fun to drive. So a few things that came up on-road conditions. Ride comfort's pretty good. It's a little bit, some high frequency feeling and some sound, but the tires are definitely making a little bit of noise. To me, that's not as refined as maybe the rest of the vehicle.
So moving on to a little bit higher speed dirt performance, this thing it's practically a rally car. So we're drifting it around corners, we're able to go into sport mode, we're able to disable the VSE, we're able to really get this thing to perform. Great engine, very responsive, good brakes, although the brakes are a little bit difficult to modulate simply because there's such a long stroke. It's such a long travel of the brake pedal that you've got to get way into the brake pedal in order for the thing to start to respond. Now, one of the things that I did notice once we got from the higher speed dirt into the lower speed technical terrain is that this suspension that rewards us so nicely on the road with it being this great handling, and then on the dirt, like a rally car, it gets a little stiff. So the ride gets busy, we're seeing some head toss out of the vehicle, we're seeing limited articulation in crossed axle terrain, and fortunately, the thing that actually saves this car is the fact that it's got such a fantastic traction control system.
Well, one of the things that really stood out on the trail was how well this vehicle gets through a major articulation obstacle. Although the vehicle isn't, drooping a lot, there's not a lot of articulation, the vehicle just keeps going right through it. But the negative point is it pops, it has a lot of wheel lift, and as a driver, I'm not 100% sure what's going to happen next. And I think that might be kind of the deciding factor for new drivers.
So for me, pros and cons on this truck. Pros are it does have Jeep level of performance in technical terrain. It really does reward the driver in technical terrain. Rock sliders available from the factory, incredible traction control system, but it does have limited articulation. So you need to be aware of that when you're going into a certain obstacle. So those are my downsides on the trail. But on the road, this thing does reward the driver. It's incredibly spirited to drive, has a wonderful motor. We're actually getting decent fuel economy out of the thing. We saw 20 miles to the gallon coming back from Moab. So overall, as a driver's car on the road, very rewarding. Throw it into low range, put it into rock mode, and go do Hell's Revenge in Moab.